Hi guys, and welcome back to 20 Questions With. And today we've got a very special guest who is also the owner of 7 Days Competitions and a former drifter. So please welcome Ross Youngman. Hi Ross, you all right?
How you doing? I'm very well. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Just about coping with the cold weather at the moment.
Need a holiday.
I do. Sunshine and beaches.
Yeah, same.
So the whole layout with this, we're going to start with the 10 quickfire questions, just as a bit of an icebreaker. So ready when you are.
Yeah, go for it.
So your favourite car?
That's a silly question. I don't know. I've not got a favourite car.
First one that comes to your mind.
Okay, Monte.
Your favourite track?
Donington.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Your go-to 3-course meal?
Oh God. Not picky with food. I'd say. Oh, that's a difficult question. Okay. Any type of Mexican food. So like nachos and then burrito. And I don't really like dessert, so I'll skip it.
Oh God. Oh, I don't know how the rest of this conversation is going to go. And your most inspirational driver?
Ooh, another difficult one. I don't really follow anyone else. I just drive myself, to be honest.
Are you going to go with yourself?
I don't know. I don't really watch any motorsport or anything, so don't know.
No one on like TV?
Don't know. Anyone that does like rallycross or anything like that, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
That'll count.
Yeah.
And apart from anything driving related, what is your go-to sport?
Another difficult one. I like anything that's dangerous. So literally anything with an engine or that gives me a thrill, snowboarding, anything like that.
Perfect. And are you a morning or evening person?
I'm not a morning person, so I'll go with evening.
And your go-to hobby you go to for relaxing?
Holidays.
And the scariest thing you've ever done?
I don't know. Maybe skydive.
Okie dokie. And if you had to describe yourself in just one word, what would it be?
Adventurous.
There we go. That's the first 10 done.
Cool.
Not too scary. Gets you thinking though, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's difficult to give you one answer because, yeah, there's so many things that I like. Like, I don't know. Difficult.
Okay.
Just giving one answer.
So something that you might find a little bit easier then. So some more open-ended questions. We'll get into the more in-depth about motorsport, cars, bits like that, if that's okay.
Yeah, no worries.
Perfect. So number 11, where did it all start for you with motorsport, drifting, and your love of cars?
I'd say just from a kid, forever, to be honest. I guess like, yeah, when I was a kid, I was always playing with like toy cars and stuff. Then it went from that to, I don't know, my dad bought me a motorbike when I was a kid. So again, I guess being into like anything dangerous or anything exciting like that, anything I could get my hands on, I'd just be drawn to, I guess. Like I had field cars when I was younger. So yeah, just from an early age, I just got into anything dangerous.
So you quite literally turned your Hot Wheels cars into real ones.
Yeah, I guess so. My dad was always kind of into motorsport as well. So I guess I followed in his footsteps a little bit. And then when I was in school, I actually went on drift works and decided I was going to buy a drift car. I couldn't drive at the time or anything, and I'd never had a proper car. I got home from school and told my dad that I'd bought this car, and he was like, "What have you done?" And then, yeah, made him start taking me drifting. So that's how I got into that.
Amazing. And following on quite nicely, over since you've started motorsport, drifting, and anything to do with cars, really. What different barriers have you experienced and how have you overcome them?
There's been many. I guess it depends whether you mean within the business or within just, I don't know, being into cars. And I don't know. I guess there's been many within the business that, I don't know, you just get over it and sort it out. Like, I don't know.
Find a solution.
Yeah, you just learn to live with it, and you can't. I guess from that goes back to an early age as well. I used to get really wound up if something didn't go right, but now I run a business. You kind of think that is just what happens in life. You have to find a solution for something. Just take a step back and think, right, I've got to sort it out. Let's sort it. And
Best plan of action.
yeah, I think the main thing for me when I was younger was working on cars, and then something would break or you'd like snap a bolt or something and get really annoyed. But you can't get annoyed because it doesn't fix anything. You've just got to step back and find a solution at the end of the day.
So you end up throwing the spanner and doing more damage than what was originally done.
I hate working on cars. I'm not going to lie. I just pay people to do it now.
Easiest way.
Yeah, that's my solution to that.
Good solution for anyone out there. Just get someone else to do it.
Yeah.
So over the past few years, within the automotive industry in general and motorsport, have you seen a change towards women and also a change in general?
There's definitely been a change in general. Not being a woman, I don't really know about that side of it. I'd say there's more of an acceptance towards women being into motorsport and cars, maybe. I can't comment on it too much because I haven't really been a witness to any of it as such, but I'd say there's definitely been a change in motorsport becoming more professional. Like drifting was seen as a bit of a rebel sport 10 years ago, and it kind of still is, and it's got a bit of a bad reputation. That especially kind of, I think I was talking to Josh Moore the other day, and he said there's a new series coming out, which is backed by I think MSV or something like that. So it's actually got a regulating body, which is good, and they regulate what tires you can use and stuff like that. So it needs something like that to bring it to the next level. So yeah, I'd say it's definitely changed. Yeah, the whole of motorsport in general. Obviously, technology and stuff changes all the time, doesn't it? So definitely, it's always changing.
So being the owner of 7 Days competition, and for those of you that don't know what 7 Days is, I'll pop the links down below, but you give out some absolutely incredible prizes. How did that all come about and how did it actually start? Was it just an idea in the shower or was it, where did it come?
It actually started from when I was drifting. I had a drift car, and this was when I don't know if you remember or know, but Rockingham used to do like oval days. So you could drive on the oval and put like different layouts and stuff on it. And they were really good days. It's quite, well, it's not local to me. It's a couple of hours from me. It's probably the best track in the country to drift at. And once you've kind of like been sideways at like 100 mile an hour, doing anything less is just boring. So when that track closed, I was like, well, I might as well just sell my car. So I had it for sale. Everybody wanted it, but no one could really justify buying it. My business partner, George, was in Australia at the time. We were kind of like importing cars, trying to make a little bit of money on the side, just doing what we could to make money. And me and him decided that we were going to try and raffle it off. So him being in Australia was obviously, he was awake when I was asleep. So I woke up and he was like, I've made this website. When are we going to do it? And I was like, shit, we're actually going to do it. So I was like, yeah, let's launch it. And at the time, it was called japcarcomp.com. So
Okay.
it wasn't 7 days performance or 7 days competition. It's japcarcomp.com. That was the first competition we ever did, and it sold out in a week. Hence the 7 days name.
Okay, that's
Um,
fascinating.
so that's where that came from, and we just carried on doing it, and it got bigger and bigger.
And I bet the answer is yes, but has it changed your life, or does it all seem a little bit still surreal?
It is kind of surreal, yeah. It's kind of weird talking to anyone. I mean, most people that are into cars, you speak to them and they know who 7 days is,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. And to be honest, I never really thought I'd end up in a job which I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I enjoy cars. I enjoy driving cars, and that was kind of always the dream. Like I never thought I'd end up driving a Nissan GTR, let alone a Lamborghini. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And as a bit of a side note, out of all the cars you've raffled off and driven yourself, which one has been your standout car?
Um, I like any Audi. I think the build quality on them is really good. Um, yeah, the usability of like the multimedia system. I know it sounds stupid when you say like the radio works. Everyone laughs at me if I get in a car and the radio doesn't work or something doesn't work on the car. It annoys me, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, but it's got 600 horsepower." I'm like, "Don't care if the radio doesn't work." Like I like listening to
100.
music. Um, so yeah, I can't really fault Audis. The RS6 that I had was awesome. Um, and then driving wise, probably my Performante, I guess. Can't really fault it.
So moving slightly on back onto drifting. So you said it started when you were quite young, you just bought this drift car. How did it progress? And I know from your Instagram, you've kind of getting back into it again.
Yeah. Um, I've always just done it for fun, really. I've never really wanted to compete. My
Yeah,
mates have told me that I should, but I kind of think that it takes the fun out of it.
yeah,
And me not liking working on my car kind of I think it would take the fun out of it, because I'd go to an event, break my car, and think, shit, I've got to go and fix my car before whatever date so that I can drive again.
yeah.
Whereas I like to just get home, relax, and not have to worry about it. Um, so yeah, it just, I don't know. I've always been into it and always had different. I've always been into Jap cars as well, so I guess that's kind of followed on from that.
Yeah.
And then starting 7 days, when I raffled off my first, or my drift car, the first car we ever raffled off, I just didn't have the time to do it. So now we've got more employees and I can kind of take a little bit of a step back from the business. It's given me a bit of time to think, okay, I might be able to go and enjoy myself and have a bit of fun again.
Do you think you've picked it up quite quickly then from before, or is it still a little bit of getting back to where you were?
I'm not going to lie, I was quite scared. Um, because, well, yeah, the car I've bought is kind of a different kettle of fish. It's like a fully built drift car, um, and the grip levels in it are just insane. So it is very different to drive, but yeah, I picked it up quite quick, and yeah, it was good fun. So
That's the main thing. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun.
yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So, out of all the different memories you have, whether it be from drifting when you were younger or with 7 days, what is the one memory that stands out to you as your favourite?
Good question. Um, Being car related, I
Car
guess.
related.
Um, I don't know. I guess I'd have to say starting 7 days.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I guess the car that I had then, like that was the one that started it all. So yeah, I guess that's kind of the one that's changed my life and made everything possible. So yeah, I'd say so we've been through so many cars, and we've yeah done so much that you kind of end up thinking it's just another car. Like we can go out and buy a Lamborghini and then raffle it off 6 months later. I'll be like, which one was that again? I can't remember. So I guess that the ones that stand out, yeah, the first one we ever did, yeah, driving that car was fun as well. That's probably one of the best drift cars I had.
I don't even ask how many, if you even know actually, how many cars you've owned, say, over the last 5 years.
Good question.
Good question.
Uh, Personally, I probably own 2 or 3 at a time, and I probably change 2 of them every 6 months. So I don't know.
Whatever the maths is.
Probably, yeah, I probably had 20 of the last 5 years, probably more. I don't know.
That's awesome. And now looking into the future, what are your aspirations now?
Tried not to really have any, to be honest. There are lots of things I want to do and places that I want to take the business, but I kind of take the attitude that we'll try and get there, but there's no point making yourself upset if it doesn't happen. So there's not much point really. Like we've got visions of yeah doing big things with the business and being able to take a step back and go and live in another country for 6 months of the year, so we don't have to actually run it and stuff like that. But yeah, we don't know.
Whatever happens is a bonus then, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, I love my life at the minute, so I don't really need to change much, to be honest.
That's amazing. And not many people can ever say that. So it's fantastic you've worked your way up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel lucky where I am, to be honest. Like I say, I enjoy what I do. Not many people can actually say they enjoy their job. So, I mean, I don't enjoy all of it. Like
Working on
half the day I'm sitting in an office on a laptop, and I hate being on a laptop. But the whole aspect of 7 days and what we do as a business is great. So, yeah.
So obviously you've turned a passion into a business, which is everybody's dream of just doing what they love. And what would you say your favorite part of the job is?
Probably, well, being able to drive all the cars, I guess. For instance, we've just bought a twin turbo Lamborghini, or we had the Lamborghini and had it built by JM Imports.
Yeah.
So driving that is cool. Being able to say you've driven 1,000 brake horsepower Lambo is pretty cool. So that aspect of it is good. And then the other bit, obviously, giving people a car or a Lamborghini, or we're giving away 25 grand tonight. So phoning those people and kind of changing their lives is pretty nice to do. A lot of the time they don't actually believe it. So on the phone, it's weird when you hear winners from like the National Lottery or anything like that. You kind of think they're all set up, because we never really get winners like that.
Yeah.
We've had a few that have like broke down in tears and stuff, but a lot of the time they just think this is a prank call or this is a scam.
Yeah.
It's one of my friends ringing me to
Having me on.
wind me up. Yeah, so they try not to get too excited, and then after they realize it's real, they're like, "Wow, I can't believe it." So,
What's been, as a side note, the best reaction you've had, or like your favorite reaction out of someone that you've called?
like I say, we've had a few people kind of break down in tears. Some people, there was someone about a week ago that just wouldn't stop shouting. Him and his wife were just like screaming. Um, we've had people like come and give us hugs, like they try and buy us stuff, and yeah, I don't know. It's just nice seeing what people do after they've won something.
Yeah.
Someone sent me, I think it's actually Mito who won a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
He sent me a picture of a house, and he was like, "You helped fund this. Like, thank you so much." So yeah, to see that he's put it towards something like that was pretty nice.
Yeah, Mitto's lovely as well. I don't think he could have gone to
Yeah.
a nicer person.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah.
So let's go with drifting. What do you reckon the top 3 skills are that you need to make it as a decent drifter?
It's not hard. People seem to think it's hard to drift, but it's really not. As long as you don't go out in a road car and try and drift, don't go and get in an M4 and try and drift it, because you'll end up in a tree. Like, get in a proper drift car that's set up, and anyone can do it. It's not difficult. As long as you can drive reasonably well, then it's not difficult.
Do you reckon everybody spins at least once?
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, as long as you've got a well set up car, like I drifted for the first time at Santa Pod in about 4 years, and I didn't spin all day. So I put it down to it's a well set up car.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really not that hard.
So a lot of it's more to do with, say, the car than the driver on a level.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, you can't be a bad driver and be able to drift. Like, you've got to have a reasonable driver level. But yeah, a lot of people who spin or can't drive the car, I would say, is probably more to do with the setup of the car.
Yeah. So not the fact that little old 95-year-old Doris can get in one and do donuts and everything, but what to her heart's content.
I mean, maybe. I
Never
mean,
know.
I don't know. There are some people, like, I don't know, my dad, if he drives a car and becomes out of control, he just doesn't know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
so for instance, he may not be able to drift, but anyone that can go sideways a little bit in a car and
Correct it.
they've kind of like got a little bit of driving sense, yeah, it's not difficult at all.
Okay, that puts my mind at ease a little bit. Definitely something, once my ankle recovers, something I'm gonna have a go at, and I'm just like, oh god, if I spin. But I go
Yeah.
correct cars, so that's a good start. You've installed a bit of confidence now.
The other thing, I was quite lucky. I bought a car that was reasonably set up years ago. I started in my first ever drift car was like an underpowered, just a 2.5 litre BMW E36, I think it was. And it's better to start in something that doesn't have that much power, to be fair. And I had someone that could already drift, and he was a good driver who was telling me how to do it. So I was quite lucky in that sense. So take advice of someone that knows what they're doing, and start in a car that is reasonably set up.
If you can learn the basics in something, like I say, a little bit slower, a little bit more, things happen a bit slower as well, not at say 100 miles an hour. It's going to be a bit.
Yeah, that's the thing. People always say if you start in a car that is too powerful, you'll use the power to override your driving, if you see what I mean. If you can drive the car, then you'll become a better driver.
Yeah. So very similar to track driving. I know a lot of people, they can go and get in, for example, a Lamborghini and drive around Silverstone and think they're really quick, but if you put them in something slower, sometimes they can be keeping up with cars that are quicker than themselves if they're actually a decent driver.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, same applies.
Brilliant. So the very last question, number 20, for everyone out there listening, whether it be business related or motorsport related, what is your best advice for people out there?
Cool, that's a difficult one.
Hardest one yet?
Yeah. I'd say nothing's impossible. If you want to make something happen, then you can. Don't rely on other people. Don't sit back and just think, oh, it may happen one day. You're the person that's going to change it. So get off your ass and do something. There's so many people out there that say, I wish I'd have done that. I wish I'd have done this. We'll go and do it then.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Just finding the way, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. So that's all 20. You made it. You survived.
Cool. I can relax now.
Just quickly get like a towel to drip the white sweat off. But thank you ever so much for being my guest on my series tonight. And I just
No
want to
worries.
say best of luck with both drifting and your business.
Cool. Thank you very much.
I just need to win one. I've entered and I've never won one. So fingers crossed next time.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Never know. But that's it for now, guys. So you know the drill. Every Monday at 6 p.m. with a new guest. But for now, to make my journey your journey, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.